Let me put that ball up for you a bit.
Is that a bit
just
too
a little
low
bit. Just a little bit.
No, I've got it wrong now.
Barnes, you're meant to be getting better, not worse. You can't even hit your driver now. What's going on? You want to go again?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Should have teed it down all that time, shouldn't you? Don't need to tee it up. You like that?
Yeah,
when he's
now,
posing like that, that means it was a good shot.
No,
okay?
because I feel more comfortable with a swerve that way.
Yeah.
And I'm still, I don't feel comfortable doing that.
So Barnesy, we've talked about our squads, how good we thought our squads were. What do you think about the current 2022 World Cup squad?
It's a modern team, isn't it? It's a modern team, which is what's necessary. Because of course, people talk a lot about characters, Gaza, and people like that. That doesn't happen anymore. And when people are caught in between, remembering the old days when they had character, and now they're saying the players don't have any character when they perform. And they're happy being in a hotel, in a tournament. They don't get bored. They don't do stupid things. People may say they're boring, but they're proper footballers. So you can't even compare them from a character point of view. And you shouldn't, because what it's about is getting results. And this team now gets results. Of course, you know, your team did. We got to semi-finals, so did we. But in terms of the way footballers are now, it's a much more professional.
Well, not even the likes of Foden and that. Foden and like little character that wants to get out and about and have a bit of fun.
They do it every
Kyle
now and again.
Walker
But that's not, I mean, compared to what went on back then, that is nothing. So of course, and everything you see Foden getting involved with, I mean, you saw the thing, you know, with his mom and that's nothing to do with him.
Yeah.
He gets caught up in that. He doesn't go looking for that.
No.
We went looking for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So nowadays, because of jealousy, as you can see, you may have players getting involved in certain situations, which really, a lot of it isn't their fault. Whereas, you know, what we did in the early 90s particularly, you know, of course, you know, because of course, from the 80s to the 90s, 96, then after 96, things changed. And I've seen the transformation.
Yeah.
So from 90, when we're trying to sneak out at night in Fort David, with Bobby chasing guys around the pitch at night and stuff like that, to 96 when you're in the squad where they still has a little bit of that, to then come 98 with Glenn, 2000 now, it just doesn't exist anymore. And the managers don't have to stop them doing it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't want to do that. That's just the way it is.
Football-wise, you know, when you compare them on the football, that's their off-pitch antics. What about on the pitch?
Well, when people talk about eras, and you talk about, and don't forget, we played in the same era as well, as much as you talk about 96 to 90 or before, and you would have seen the transition from making a debut in 84 to how it professionally became in the late 90s. I always say, when you're trying to compare teams and who's going to do well, play well against each other, what it always boils down to me is, what rules are we playing? Because of course, if you're playing rules whereby Terry Butcher and Brian Robson, and if you go back earlier to Mick Harford and Hurlock will come in and not even get free kicks, then that's a different situation.
Yeah, yeah. The game has changed so much, hasn't it? Yeah.
Completely changed. But from my era, looking at them now, I always say, if you are able, I look at your team with Vinci and people like that, how many yellow cards, red cards, and David Batty was in the squad as well, you see what that's like. So I always say, what rules are we playing to then determine which team would win.
Yeah.
And also, any great team who can get to the semi-final or final from 2020 to 1990 to 1966 to 90, because of course what we do is look at Stan Matthews, for example. What we do is Stan Matthews, he's walking and people say Stan Matthews is going to play now. He wouldn't be doing that if he was playing now.
No.
He would be one of the best in the world, yeah. And if you had a top player now playing in 1956, he wouldn't be doing what he's doing now, he'd be in 56. So great teams of the past are exactly the same. So it's good pub banter, which team would win, what's a better team. Yeah. I think your team in 96 to 98 would probably be better playing against the team now.
Yeah.
Than my team.
I think when you look back, I mean, I look at your team and the players that you picked, I think, wow, what players they were. Do you look at the teams in 88 and 86 and 84 and think they were even better than what you were in the 90s? And
well, that's the team. That's when I made my debut. 84 is when I scored in Brazil. That was my team as well.
Even earlier.
But if you go back earlier, yeah, exactly. So I look at, and I was lucky enough to play with Kenny Sampson, you know, for probably 3 years with England before Piercy got in the squad. And you look at Kenny Sampson, Ray Wilkins, Glenn, because Glenn really after 85, 86 never really played. But then you go back earlier, and because I love football and I love the history of football, you can go back to Alan Dunn, you go back to the 70s with Kevin Keegan. And you know, so I always have a lot of respect for things in the past. So when people ask me about teams, my team to the present team or my team to the team in the 70s, I'll say the top players at the top countries and the top clubs are exactly the same.
So to answer that question in one foul swoop, the best team of the 1, 2 and the current now, Euro 96, yeah? Let's go and play some golf.
I think so.
No,
I think so.
Too late, too late.
I think so. Yeah, that's looking good, unless it lands straight in the bunker. That's over the bunker, isn't it?
It's over, isn't it? They go over.
I think that's over.
Close.